Every now and then, when you enter the universe of retro games, you will sometimes get confused by games being named the same for 3 different consoles, and then realizing that they're all different. This is the case for Batman the video game, which was released for the NES, Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, and Nintendo Game Boy. So let's discover and explore these games, shall we? This is Batman for the NES, created by Sunsoft. And what you're seeing here is a 2D platformer game. So there are different weapons that you can use, but you have to defeat enemies to get those weapons. You first start with your fist to attack, then you'll get a gun, shurikens, and boomerang, which Batman calls batarangs. All 3 weapons use the same ammo, so if you have 5 ammo and use 1 boomerang, you now have 4 ammo for all weapons. You can switch weapons by pressing the start button. There is also a wall jumping mechanic that plays along nicely with the jumping mechanic in the game. And I say jumping mechanic because the jumping is pressure sensitive. So what that means is that when you hold the button, it goes higher, you jump higher. And when you just tap the button, it will do a short jump. The game itself is pretty easy for the first few levels, however around the 3rd level is where it gets really hard because of the enemies, so be careful with that. So the objective of the game is just to get to the end of the stage while enjoying this fantastic soundtrack. Sunsoft creates really good music. I personally like the boomerang in this game, so you're gonna see me using that a lot here. There are various enemies in this game, like humans, robots. I believe the amount of time to beat this game is around 2 to 3 hours, so it's a really short game. Here's a showcase of how the wall jumping works. The more you play this game, the more you'll get used to that. So here's the boss, and yeah, it's not your typical just beat up an enemy. This is a machine. So what you essentially have to do is defeat the 2 guns shooting at you first, then go at the top left and defeat that blue light. Now if you died like how I did, you lose all your weapons. So now you gotta just defeat the enemy with your fist. Yeah, it's a bummer. Pretty shitty honestly. But it is possible to beat the boss like this. So we're just gonna go up, defeat this machine with the blue light, while avoiding those water drops, I guess. And now we're going to the right side and defeat that blue light as well, because it just opened up. You gotta get used to the wall jumping in this game. Beating it up with our fists. Seems like there's no hitbox on the bottom, so start jumping. And we did it. Pretty fun game, I must say. It does engage you, and it has some cutscenes, and it has good music. Now we're here at the Genesis version of Batman, and as you can see, it is not the same at all. It's completely different. In fact, it's so different that it's much slower. You only have 1 weapon with 5 to 7 lives, and at the very least, it's very generous. And when I say generous, it means like when you die, such as I died right there, it will place you right back where you last touched the platform. As far as I know, you only have 1 weapon. You can kick and punch and throw this projectile. There is a difference here though. There is like a hook shot that you can hook upwards only, and it's just to get on top of the 2nd level. You're going to use this hook shot a lot because the game revolves around it. So it does have some good platforming. Just the same as the NES, it's not bad. It's just much slower. One thing you guys should know is that there's an alternate jump where you can double tap jump and it does this little roll or a little spin in midair. The jump gives more range. Let's go ahead and take a look at the hook shot feature. Yeah, so what you essentially do is look up, throw the hook shot, and then jump to go up. The enemies in the game are not the greatest. They walk slow, they don't really have any awareness at all. They don't know what to do. They'll just shoot straight, walk back and forward, shoot again. It's pretty bad. However, we do have some good music, and like I said previously, Sunsoft creates good music. So let's take a look at the boss battle, shall we? Get some health, Okay, go straight and oh, what was that? Look at that, so cheap, hiding behind the borders of what the game can actually see. And this is what I mean about the AI, it does nothing, and that wasn't even the boss. This is the boss. Look how terrible this AI is, look at this. The projectile is pushing him backwards. So I walk up just to see what he does, and he throws the boombox at me. Now he charges, and I just finish him off with the projectiles. And that's the end. Great boss, right? Check out these cutscenes though for Genesis. Not bad. Gotham City Street. Now what's this? Hello there, Batmobile. I gotta say, this was very unexpected. A Batmobile stage that was supposed to be a platformer game, all of a sudden is now a shoot 'em up game, but with the Batmobile. And the ability you have here is you can go forward and backwards, and you have missiles with lives, of course, and you have a health bar. Pretty cool, I must say. Let's check out the Game Boy version now. Now, straight off the bat, I was very impressed by seeing some cutscenes in this game. I gotta say, these Batman games do have some nice cutscenes. Now, what you're seeing here is Stage 1-3, and this game is a 2D platformer on the Game Boy. There is a jump button, obviously, but remember that pressure sensitive I was talking about in the NES release? Well, it's here as well. So hold jump to go much higher, or tap jump just to do a little short hop. And the jumping is A button, the B button is to shoot. However, as you can see, he's holding a pistol. In fact, that's the only thing he can hold because it's Game Boy. As you play the game, you'll encounter more power-ups, different power-ups I would say. And this one specifically is you shoot once and it comes back, kind of like the boomerang in the NES version. The other two so far that I've encountered is a normal bullet that goes from your gun towards the end of the screen, and a very short range but high fire rate. The game is pretty self-explanatory. It's just the same as the other two that I've shown you. You know, you start from the beginning, go towards the end, face the boss if there is one. If there isn't, then continue on to the next stage. However, the pace of the game is really good and it does have nice music. So for a Game Boy game, it's pretty good. Now, all these games take like 2 to 3 hours to beat. So if you're really good at platformer games, you might just be able to beat all 3 of them in a day. Let's take a look at the boss battle. Okay, here we are. Batman versus Jack. I gotta say, these bosses are hella buffed. They shoot so slow, but damn, they got a lot of health. I love the fact that the boss is taller than Batman, and Batman looks like a little kid. Well, that's Batman for NES, Genesis Mega Drive, and Game Boy. I hope you discovered and explored a new game here, a new platforming game, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.